With Mike McDaniels officially signed and in the building, we're going to look at what this offense might look like. What is up, Fin fans? Yes, we are going to take a look and see what our offense could potentially look like. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say this is exactly what it's going to look like, because he might change up a few things than from what he did with San Fran. But we're going to take a look at essentially what the Dolphins offense could look like. But before we jump into that, I have to shout out 3 new members: and Alex Franklin, Jenny Devo, and Lost King. Thank you guys so very much for becoming new members. I also have a potential new sponsorship that I'm going to be talking about soon. You know these people, but I'm working on some things so I can bring you guys some more great discounts on some great things. So let's jump into this now. On Twitter, again, I keep saying this, and if Twitter's not your thing, if it's a toxic environment, or you're like, I just don't feel like dealing with Twitter, don't worry about it. I'm going to continue to bring you the stuff here. But if you can, go follow me on Twitter, because that's where I could tweet you all this stuff before I could sit down and make a video. On Twitter, Ryan Smith, who works for PFF, came out with a fantastic thread, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to add him so you can go follow him and check out the thread yourself, but it's at PFF_Ryan Smith. Go check it out. Fantastic thread where he looks at and gives the math and the percentage so we can sit here and kind of debate what this offense is going to look like, what the 49ers ran versus what the Dolphins ran. And again, I'm not sitting here telling you this is exactly what the offense is going to look like, but going off these numbers, we can get a good idea. So we're going to start. I have it broken. He broke it down, and I have it broken down on my notepad in different, styles: outside zone, lead blocker, all that stuff. So we'll start with the outside zone. Outside zone runs. The 49ers ran those. Now, you need to have, with outside zone runs, you need to have mobile and good guards and centers, because they're going to be pulling. They're going to be pulling to the outside, especially on certain plays that we'll also get to. You need to have these fast, mobile guards and centers. Do we have that? I wouldn't put Solomon Kindley up there, but so the 49ers ran it 6th. When it comes to how many times they ran it. The Dolphins, 27th. So the 49ers ran the outside zone a lot. Again, there's only 5 teams ahead of them that ran the outside zone more. Dolphins, on the other hand, they barely ran the ball to begin with. No, they didn't. When it came to man, though, when it came to the type of runs being man-to-man, hat on a hat, Dolphins were 4th and the 49ers were 23rd. So the 49ers ran more of a zone scheme when it came to their running style, and we could probably expect the Dolphins to continue to run that. When it came to a lead blocker, when it came to fullback or whatever, because they had Juicy Check over there, the 49ers, 40.3% of their runs had a lead blocker, which is the most in the NFL. The Dolphins, 6.5%, which is the 18th in the NFL. So what this is telling me, again, if this is the style of offense that the Dolphins are going to run, and if this is the style of offense that Mike McDaniels is going to install with the Dolphins, I can expect them to bring in a fullback. Because again, Kyle Juicy Check, I'm probably saying his name wrong, but he big for the 49ers. And last video I read that nice little quote he had from Mike McDaniels. When it came to the pitch, which we did run it, and it actually was somewhat successful when we ran the pitch, the 49ers did it 132 times. Essentially, 22.6% of their runs were pitches. They would pitch it to the outside. Sometimes, and Mike McDaniels, I think I'll link it in the description. He had a video talking about the pitch and how it kind of messes with the defense, not expecting pitches. But they did it the most, whereas the Dolphins only 8 times. Essentially 1.4%, which is the 28th. Dolphins didn't really pitch the ball much. So again, that might be something that is different. 2 running back formation. So essentially have both, especially if you're in the shotgun, have both guys out there. Pistol, have both guys out there in and like Duke Johnson and Philip Lindsay. It would have been nice to see them both out there. In that formation, the 49ers ran it 317 times, 25.1% of the time, second only to the Patriots, who ran it more. Dolphins, on the other hand, 72 times, essentially 6.2% of the time, 24th. So they didn't really utilize both their running backs. So that's another thing we can expect, maybe adding more talent at that running back position, because the 49ers for a good amount of time had talented running backs. First down rushes. So you hand the ball off and get the first down. 49ers 144 times, fifth. So again, very successful in the run. Dolphins 86 times, 30th. So again, our run game wasn't good. So Mike McDaniel is probably going to try to come in here and really change that, really turn that over. Shift and motions. This one you're going to expect the Dolphins to probably have higher numbers when it comes to shifts, essentially motion, the receiver left to right. We did a lot with Waddle, all that stuff. Well, the 49ers did it 81.7% of the time, most in the NFL. Dolphins did it 57.4% of the time, 10th in the NFL. So I could see that staying and probably happening more, help to essentially be able to read the defense more if they're zone or in their man, and also help get some of the movement going, because we noticed that happened to us a lot, where they'd have motion given the ball and all of a sudden confuse our linebackers, confuse our corners. Pistol formation. Now, the Dolphins ran the pistol formation a lot. And it's because of the style of offense that Tua was comfortable with. 49ers only ran the pistol formation 17 times, essentially 2.1% of the time. The league average is 2.2% of the time. The Fins ran it 131 times, essentially 11.3% of their offensive play calls were in the pistol formation, second only to the Ravens, who ran it 3 times more than the Dolphins, which it's pretty crazy if you ask me. RPO, a lot of people say, "Oh, Tua can only run the RPO. We're an RPO offense." Well, 49ers aren't. 49ers ran the RPO about 4.4% of the time. The league average was 9.9% of the time. The Dolphins ran the RPO offense. 18.7% of their offense was run out of the RPO. It's going to be interesting to see how Mike McDaniel incorporates that, because we know that Tua is comfortable running out of the RPO. So we'll see how Mike McDaniel incorporates the fact that he doesn't run it as often, but Tua's comfortable. Maybe this is the time where you start to transition to a traditional style NFL offense versus that gimmicky, RPO offense. Play action. This was extremely surprising to me. The 49ers ran play action 26.9% of the time on offense. 15th. The Miami Dolphins ran play action 35.4% of the time, the most in the NFL. The Dolphins ran play action the most in the NFL with the 32nd ranked run game. Who are you confusing in play action? It makes no sense, but it does make sense on the other end, because when play action is run, Tua has an 80.3 PFF grade and 106.5 passer rating. When there is no play action, he has a 55.1 PFF grade and a 77.4 passer rating. So the Dolphins probably are like, well, he does really well out of play action, so we're going to run play action even though we're not running the ball. Very, very interesting to me. Screens. Dolphins didn't run many screens. Essentially 8.3% of their offense came from screens, 27th ranked in the NFL, whereas the 49ers, 12.2% of their offense was screen plays, 10th in the NFL. So, again, we can probably expect more screens, more motions. Well, the motions are probably going to stay the same. More lead blockers, zone blocking on that. The biggest thing, and this involves Mike Gesicki. I want to re-sign Mike Gesicki, but looking at these numbers and looking at what Sean Smith put on here, just to make sure Ryan Smith, sorry, I just want to make sure I got his name right. Ryan Smith put on here. When it comes to the 49ers, they had 2 tight ends in Warner and Kittle, right? When it came to their run blocking grade on PFF as tight ends, Warner was 73.7 with a PFF grade, and Kittle was 73.6. Pretty good. And they use those two tight ends to help in play actions, help in the zone running and all that stuff. When you look at Mike Gesicki, he had a PFF grade of 46.1. So I don't, like I said, I want to re-sign Mike Gesicki, but when it comes to the style of offense that might be installed with Mike McDaniel, I don't know if he's going to get re-signed now. And that sucks because he's super dynamic and super dangerous. That also might clue into why he started blocking a lot of Dolphin fans, Dolphin YouTubers, Dolphin people on Twitter. If you don't know that, Mike Gesicki went on, a blocking extravaganza, blocking everyone and anyone. I've never had interactions with him. The only thing I ever tweeted about Mike Gesicki is we needed to resign him, and he blocked me. And he didn't block me while I was doing that. He blocked me 2 days ago when I haven't talked about him in months. So he started blocking a lot of Dolphin fans. I don't know if you had an @Dolphin in one of your posts or hashtag Miami Dolphins or whatever, and he searched and just started blocking people. But that's not a good sign. Is that saying that he's not going to resign? He doesn't want to hear it. He doesn't want people to bother him. I don't know. But with this style of offense, I don't know if he's going to get re-signed, especially for the type of money he might want. See how that pans out. That's for another video where I talk about who we should re-sign and all that stuff. But looking again at the numbers that Ryan Smith put out for us and all that stuff, it looks like they're going to be more of a zone run. We're probably going to get another fullback. Expect to continue the motions. Expect a lot of speed. Expect 2 running back sets. I'm very excited to see what Mike McDaniel is going to install. I'll have more for you, especially when it comes to the style of passing that he's going to do, the style on all that stuff, especially when we get a defensive coordinator. So I'll have more. As of right now, he hasn't had his press conference. You guys are watching this on Tuesday. He hasn't had his press conference yet. Last night he came in, he signed. We all saw the videos and everything. So we could probably expect the press conference maybe Wednesday, but I'm hearing the fact that it's Super Bowl week, maybe we might have to wait till Monday. I don't know. But as soon as he has a press conference, I will talk about it. But comment below, what do you think about the style of offense that he might be bringing, and what do you think it might look like going off the numbers I gave you? And I'm going to get to one of you guys' comments of the day. And this one comes from Greg Taylor, and he says, comment of the day. Does having him as our head coach change who you think we will keep / re-sign versus if we still had Flores? Very good question. And that is why I waited to do my cuts, re-signs, free agent targets, all that stuff until I knew who the head coach was. Because, yes, it does affect it. Because Brian Flores was the type of guy who wanted to build through the youth, and I'm not against that. But he went to an extreme, to the point where our offensive line had first and second year starters throughout, besides Jesse Davis, who was just a door at right tackle. Whereas Flores wouldn't really go after the guys who, 28, 29, 30, who could still really help, still really play, but he won't be on the team in 3 years. He wasn't going after those guys to help the young guys learn from and get better with. And I could see Mike McDaniel doing that. Also, like I said, I expect him to bring in a fullback. I didn't see Flores doing that. I don't know if he's going to bring back Gesicki. I thought maybe, actually, I don't think Flores was going to bring back Gesicki because it seemed like him and Gesicki were always getting into fights. But I do think we're going to see a huge shift in the type of players that are brought in and the type of players that are re-signed, especially with the style of offense he runs. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Philip Lindsay stays. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes after another speedy back. I wouldn't be surprised if he brings in different types of wide receivers, offensive linemen. It's going to be very interesting to say the least. So if you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be talking about it. I don't have an off season. So very excited for his press conference. I'm very excited to break down potential free agents and all that good stuff. But other than that, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Me and Big O going to be chatting about all this good stuff with Mike McDaniel, and then again, press conference, you'll get that. I have a ton of videos that are still going to be planned. I have to do the giveaway, live stream, so much planned. I'll let you know when everything's going to happen. But other than that, guys, like usual, stay classy and fins up.